I think that's something that we need to come to terms with, and people are gonna get upset about this, but I'm gonna say it. I think that it's cheap politics, and I think it's pathetic to just constantly lash out as these people are all racist and sexist, and that's the only thing that explains it. If you're gonna keep, going in that direction, I think we're gonna keep losing. I think Democrats are gonna keep losing. I think we need to come to terms with the real frustrations that voters have.
Cenk Uygur and Ana Kasparian are having strong reactions to Donald Trump's election win, and their perspectives couldn't be more different. Cenk is convinced that Trump's victory signals the downfall of democracy, delivering a dramatic and emotional response. Meanwhile, Ana takes a surprisingly reflective and mature tone. After Cenk and his guests finish their usual fear-driven commentary, Ana shifts the conversation with a somber moment of introspection, clearly rethinking her next steps. It's becoming evident that Ana may be distancing herself from the hard left narrative, moving toward a more balanced perspective. This shift could be a step in the right direction, and maybe, just maybe, Cenk could learn from her approach. Let's dive into the video and break it all down.
The success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it, because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks, God. Okay, so there you have it. Donald Trump has won the 2024 election. Let's hope that our graphic is wrong and that it's not the final election. Ana made a great point during his speech. Hey, what happened to all the undocumented immigrants that were supposed to vote for the Democrats? I thought we were flying them to all the swing states. That's what Elon said. And he said, the Democrats are going to steal the election. Donald Trump said it was rigged. Alex Jones said we're all going to be in FEMA camps. Ted Cruz said we're all going to be in Hobbit homes. None of those things ever happened, but the right-wing voters never catch on. Okay. And of course, they said, oh, Kamala would do the same thing. The Democrats would do the same thing as Donald Trump. They're not going to do the same thing. Kamala Harris is the vice president of the United States. She could refuse to certify the election. Is she going to do that? There's a 0% chance she's going to do that. There's a 0% chance they'll try to cheat and try to say, well, I got fake electors in Michigan. I got fake electors in Michigan. So no, of course, she'll concede. It's over. Donald Trump has won.
First, let's address this whole cheating narrative. This election had over 100,000 poll watchers across the country, actively monitoring and keeping an eye on things. And let's not forget, this was the first election where nearly everyone had a phone ready to record. People were documenting everything, catching any activity that seemed even slightly suspicious. Why? Because you made it a point, Cenk. You put the idea of a rigged election into everyone's head, and that put the whole country on high alert. And yes, people did capture a lot of questionable activities, things that raised eyebrows. But let's be real. There's only so much you can catch on camera. Sophisticated election rigging often leaves little behind. That's the bigger issue. But hey, if Cenk Uygur wants to stay in his little bubble, that's on him. Let me ask you this, though. Do you really think the left is done trying to stop Trump? Think about everything they've already tried. Lawsuits, criminal charges, fines that add up to hundreds of millions of dollars. They've done everything in their power to keep him out. And then there's Letitia James in New York, still coming after him, still looking for ways to put him in jail. She's not giving up anytime soon. So, are they really done? Do you honestly think they're just going to concede now? Or are they planning their next move? Let's be honest. We've got months to go before Trump officially takes office. After everything we've seen, I don't believe for a second that they won't try something else. What about you? Do you think this is the end of their attempts, or is there more to come? Let me know in the comments. And if you're enjoying this conversation, leave a like and stay tuned for more. Let's jump back in.
Michael, last thoughts about the election.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the country. I'm not casting the blame in the same way that you're casting it. There's plenty of time to look at what happened to make this happen. I think that everybody who has a theory about it is probably right to some degree, and none of them are completely right. But it's disappointing. I like politics. I love this, and then I see that speech, and I think that's not a president. That's not who I wanted to see win. Forget Democrat or Republican. It would have been nice to see somebody say something about his opponent, to be gracious in victory, and to sort of press on. But again, it doesn't. This was a landslide. This was a huge victory. I was wrong. I said if it was I thought it would be close, which it was, but that's a lazy piece of analysis. The truth is, I said if it was going to be a landslide, it was going to be a landslide for Harris, but I didn't think it was going to be a landslide. So neither was it a landslide for Harris. So onward. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the Republican Party. Every lame duck president becomes someone that they run from, and if they find that this brand in some way doesn't work, it'll be interesting to see that play out within their party. But the brand is working now, and so there's no reason to turn away from it. But I still think that it's more about Donald Trump than whatever that message is.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He was not gracious. He didn't mention
no, but
Kamala
I didn't
Harris
expect that at all. I mean,
Joe Biden.
No.
But to be fair, he did bring up Dana White.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, Anna.
I take solace in knowing that the vast majority of American voters actually do agree on the important policy issues. Poll after poll shows that when it comes to bread and butter issues, there's widespread agreement. When it comes to corruption in America, there's widespread agreement. And so the only thing that I would just urge people to do is don't lash out at voters, and that's rich coming from me because in 2016, I certainly lashed out at voters. And I think that was misplaced anger. I just think that the reason why a message like we need to save democracy didn't work is because I don't think Americans feel well represented by our democracy. And I think that's part of Trump's appeal. I mean, he angers everybody, whether it's establishment Democrats or establishment Republicans who he refers to as rhinos. I mean, think about the number of people who tuned in to our live stream tonight specifically to watch us melt down, right? There's a pleasure that comes with that because, why? Just because they hate us? Or is it because they feel that the politics that have been, emphasized in this country, the politicians who have been supported and uplifted in this country haven't really worked out so well for them? I think that's something that we need to come to terms with, and people are gonna get upset about this, but I'm gonna say it. I think that it's cheap politics, and I think it's pathetic to just constantly lash out as these people are all racist and sexist, and that's the only thing that explains it. If you're gonna keep, going in that direction, I think we're gonna keep losing. I think Democrats are gonna keep losing. I think we need to come to terms with the real frustrations that voters have.
It's always entertaining to watch Cenk Uygur and Ana Kasparian lose their minds over Donald Trump's win. Let's be honest, it's a spectacle. But I have to give Ana credit. She's finally starting to see through the woke bubble. She's realizing that the left's tactics, shaming, elitism, and refusing to actually listen to people just don't work anymore. Here's the thing, identity politics has run its course. For years, the go-to strategy was to label anyone who disagreed as sexist, racist, or some other ist. But that doesn't resonate with voters anymore. Look at how CNN, MSNBC, and other outlets are reacting. They're blaming everyone except themselves. Instead of self-reflection, they're pointing fingers at the voters. That strategy, it's not only ineffective, it's pushing people away. When you talk down to voters, ignore their concerns, and shame them for their beliefs, what do you expect? People aren't going to suddenly support you. They'll either flip you the bird or vote for the other candidate. That's exactly what we saw in this election. Trump spoke directly to working class Americans, focusing on issues that matter, putting money in their pockets, fixing the economy, and addressing crime. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris's campaign was built on little more than abortion rights and orange man bad. Let's not forget, voters have been dealing with rising inflation, higher gas prices, and global instability. They want solutions, not lectures. Trump's message resonated because he addressed their frustrations. On the other hand, Democrats were too focused on vilifying him and his supporters to notice they were losing touch with the people they're supposed to represent. Ana Kasparian seems to be waking up to this reality. She's acknowledging that the left needs to change its approach if they want to win again. And she's absolutely right. The old playbook of identity politics and shaming isn't just ineffective, it's alienating. If Democrats don't adapt, they're going to keep losing ground. What do you think? Is identity politics finally losing its grip? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this.